In this episode, they opened the program. They did the pyro, the announcers billboarded the show. And instead of usually they go to the ring, they want to start hot. Sometimes in the past, they've started without entrances. Just here's a battle royal. But in this case, they pitched to a backstage interview to open the show. And it was Jericho and Twinkle Toes, because now that dream combination has become a reality courtesy of the mutual animosity between them and the Don Fallis family. And Jericho did a little promo. Kenny didn't speak, which was fine. But then in walks...
He looked like he was out of it.
He looked the same to me as always. I'm not saying you're wrong. And then Edge walked in and shook hands with Jericho. And that's when Harpo stepped in and mush-mouthed a greeting they've never met. And there was the sizing up for a second. And then Edge shook his hand and left. And then Jericho and Kenny, for some reason, needed to make funny faces. And that was the opening of the program. But I'm sure that Tony, in his head, thought, wow, it'd be great to get Edge out there as quickly as possible. But fuck, this kind of a blasé open to a fucking show that's got all these other problems going on.
And, you know, I watched more of the media scrum than we played here on the show.
You poor boy.
And it's available on their own YouTube channel, so anyone can access it. And during the media scrum, Edge gushed over the fact he had just met Kenny for the first time. And then Kenny and Jericho come out.
That's right.
And do the same thing. We didn't even play that audio, but same thing. They just met him for the first time. So it's a little weird when all of a sudden they're doing this now on TV when it's on their YouTube channel. Again, not everyone's watching the media scrum. But if it's there, you can't ignore it, can you?
Well, maybe he was so unimpressed he didn't remember meeting Kenny the first time.
Or maybe Kenny really is out of it. He didn't know that he was there.
Kenny was out of it and didn't remember meeting Edge. You never know.
Never know. Oh, by the way, his name is not Edge. You're not allowed contractually to call him that anymore.
I'm not under contract to anybody. I'll call him Dick or shit or...
Why would you go that direction? His name was Edge. If you can't call him Edge, you would go with Dick and shit as your next option.
I'll call him any goddamn thing I want to call him. I'm not under contract to anybody. I have not promised anything to a soul.
Speaking of Dick and shit, well, this is a bad trip. Any thoughts on Dick Butkus passing away?
Oh, God. When you said, speaking of Dick and shit, I thought you were talking about the next match between Felix and Nick Jackson. I've never watched a lot of football, but if a guy's bad enough to walk around town all his life with a name like Dick Butkus, he's all right with me.
Yeah.